Hi, my dearest family. So today we are going to be talking about the aspect of the week. And I've chosen the two tails of Venus because Venus is going to be making an aspect, two aspects actually, on the very same day. One of them is going to be Venus trine Neptune. And then once it has made it, it's going to be making an opposition straight away to Pluto. So this is going to be happening on the 11th of July or the 12th of July, depending on where you are. So let's break that down for you. But I would like to make a couple of announcements as well. So I'm going to be starting the predictive course. So if you are interested, please drop me an email. It's about to start in a couple of weeks' time. And I promise it's going to be something that you will learn a lot from. So we're going to be looking at your own charts so that you can have examples of your own life, how it might be playing out. As well as, of course, we are going to be working on your natal chart and we're going to be making certain type of predictions as well through 25 timing techniques. Also, on the 20th of July, I'm going to be making a webinar about the astrology of divorce and breakup. If that's something you are curious about, you might want to check out this webinar as well. So let's get started with this aspect. So 11th of July or 12th of July, depending on where you are, Venus is making two aspects within 24 hours to two different outer planets. First is a trine to Neptune on 29 degree of Pisces and 29 degree of Cancer, then moves into the sign of Leo and then making an opposition to Pluto. While Neptune is a positive aspect, we can have problems with that too. And that's going to be the first aspect. So this is important, kind of like the planetary sequence of how this is happening. So I'm going to talk about that too. What could be the potential problem here is the Venus and Pluto opposition to start with. And an opposition usually represents imbalance. So imbalance, for example, can be experienced in our relationship department or the way how we handle money. For example, Venus in the sign of Leo could represent that we are feeling too proud to admit that we are in the wrong. And we might be holding on to grudges as well with it. We are too vain to admit that we project our shadow self onto others. For example, the community we are part of or our friends. But of course, this could also indicate romantic connections as well at the same time. Or maybe we are possessive or jealous of a friend, their relationships or their success, or we just simply do not trust our partner and we are trying to check up on them, what they are doing, and so forth. Now, remember that I might be talking to you personally, but this could be the other way around as well. So the partner could be doing all these, what I'm going to be listing here for you, but for simplicity reasons, it's just easier to talk to you, really. Now, Neptune is actually trying to help here. Neptune says, trust your gut feelings, but also pull off the veil that might be clouding your judgment as well. Neptune says, pull off the veil and look at your own insecurities also, because Venus is making that trine still in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is about what makes us happy and what makes us unhappy as well at the same time. How to create inner peace and inner harmony, as well as what your insecurities are. So these days, we're going to have to kind of work on those. And Neptune is telling you that trust the divine power around you, because it's going to be giving you the right guidance through messages, dreams, and signs. You just need to be able to translate them in the right manner. Neptune is on an energetic degree. So often it indicates the end of something. I read it somewhere. I don't know where I read it, but I really like how it was phrased. Neptune in an analytic degree is the end of a world, not the end of the world. And there is a major difference there. And what it means is that some of your perception over our life needs to die. That we might be living in a bubble, and the bubble needs to come and poke. It needs to be burst, basically. And Saturn will do that. And as well as Mars is going to be doing that, especially at the end of or in the middle of July, because obviously it's going to be getting closer and closer to Uranus. But we're going to talk about that later anyway. So, and that's going to be helping us to burst some of these bubbles. So Neptune is giving you that idea to take off that veil that might be actually, it's kind of like, it feels like that you are walking on the road and there is this specific cloud above your head, and then it just moves with you. And when you are stopping, the cloud stops as well. So it's only raining where you are standing. This could give you that type of feeling. And where does that feeling come from? Because obviously it comes from an element of pessimism. Also, it could represent that you're going to have to kind of wake up from this prince and fairy tale stories around your love life. Because with Neptune and Venus, we fantasize about something. We are yearning to make these divine connections that Prince Charming is coming. And Pluto in Aquarius tells you, oh girl, wake up. You are holding the power in your own hands. The destiny is at your hands. So do not wait for Prince Charming to come around and save you from a situation. You're going to have to work for that yourself. Yes, of course, you can always ask for a piece of advice. You can ask for a certain type of guidance, but nobody's going to pick up the dirt for you and then hand it over to you. Also, this could talk to you about that you might like luxury, you might like comfort. And Pluto is telling you that you must be able to balance this out. Do we need that sports car? Do we need a piece of jewelry and all those type of things? So look into the mirror again. Where does that, why do you need that? Because there is a explanation for it. This is telling us that we must see the power in making connections, the power in relating to others, rather than being suspicious all the time, for example, of people's motives and agenda. We all come with an agenda anyway, right? We have got a karmic task to complete. With Venus and Neptune, we must experience something magical, or at least this combination really wants to be experiencing something magical. And Pluto says the magic is also in the small things. And you have got the power to create those. And maybe the power of friendship, the power of planning ahead, the power of a brighter future. Pluto is also the planet of intimacy. So it invites us to create a stronger bond with the self as well as with others. And also, honesty is important too. Often with Neptune, we expect someone to know what we need, what we desire, because Venus represents desire in our chart. But Pluto encourages us to be honest and open about it. And when Venus and Neptune are connecting, it's very easy to lie. It's a white lie. It's not because we want to hurt someone, but it's very easy to lie to someone, to deceive someone, or just to deceive ourselves as well. And then Pluto comes around, oh, truth is gonna come out. So you know what? Do not lie. No point. Because I'm gonna be revealing your secret anyway. Pluto says, put it out there in the air. Put it out in the open. When you have power struggles in your relationship, then Pluto can intensify this. And somehow with Venus in Leo, the ego can come in the way. So know that you might have got like egotistical desires around these days. And Neptune is actually inviting us to forgive because we all make mistakes. That is what it means to be human. Also, all three planets represent money as well at the same time. So Pluto is the planet of wealth. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So both planets can represent cash flow in your chart. So maybe today, you know what, with Neptune and Venus, for example, we win the money, and then the next day we just decided, okay, let's go on a shopping spree. And Pluto might be actually telling you again to balance out the urges. But also with Venus and Neptune, it can indicate that we are dreaming about having more money. And Pluto tells you that, okay, actually, I can give it to you. Let's dig it up. Let's go down to the shore with a gold detector and all those type of things. Let's find it. So it's a little bit like finding the opportunity. Venus in Leo invites you to be creative. Creative when it comes to expressing yourself, but to find the balance between intense self-expression is important. How much we push our worldview on others, as well as being creative when we examine our source of money. And of course, Pluto in the sign of Aquarius really talks to you about the power of internet, the power of communities. Also, this could simply indicate that you can use your sexuality to your own advantage, using your charm, your beauty, your personality. You have this very magnetic aura around you these days, but it comes with a lot of charm as well as a lot of danger. So obviously with Neptune, that is quite charming, and then Pluto is the planet of danger as well at the same time. So how far can you go with your own beauty, sexuality, and charm? Is that going to be attracting somehow someone maybe or a situation that you do not want to be in? And, you know, Venus in Leo could be quite flirtatious, and maybe someone is going to be misunderstanding the signs. Neptune might make you kind of ignore the boundaries. Pluto will want to introduce that in your life. So, for example, with Pluto and Venus and Neptune all together, we can really become obsessed with love and beauty. This day, we might want to do Botox, and we want to do a tad more than usual. Pluto is about freezing something, as that is the modern ruler of Scorpio, and Scorpio represents ice cubes. And even though Mars is the representation of muscle, but I often see Pluto, Venus doing Botox and fillers and all those type of things, because obviously Venus rules aesthetics. By the way, Saturn and Mars aspect pretty much talks to us about Botox users as well. Also, this Pluto Venus could talk to you about loving someone so deeply. And with Neptune, often we don't love the right one because we don't see something that that person might not love us back. Also, you might manipulate partners into doing something that you want, or they are manipulating you, of course. So you must be very careful how far you allow people to do this with you, not to allow people to step all over you, because the sequence is also important. So Venus is making this Neptunian aspect first, which is all lovely, charming, talk you into something, they exactly know the right words and all those type of things. And then we run into this opposition and they might step all over you. Also, this is telling you that you cannot control the people around you. You can't stifle them and You cannot make them do whatever you want. You cannot expect them to be kind of bringing down the stars 24/7 to you. So because Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius, which represents freedom, we have to learn to give freedom and to receive freedom as well. So Venus in Leo wants to party. You might not see eye to eye where to go on that party and so forth. Sometimes we have to make compromises with the opposition. This could talk to you about paranoia in relationship. Even it could talk to you about wanting to go back to a toxic connection, a toxic relationship as well. Neptune, Pluto, Venus, big question is loyalty. So who is loyal to who? Am I going to get cheated on? Or am I getting a promise and the promise is not delivered? So these could cause a bit of a tension, for example, in a couple's life. So guys, this is a short breakdown of Neptune, Pluto, and Venus connections on the 11th of July. As usual, I'm going to be breaking this down for the 12 signs as well. So if you are interested, please join my YouTube membership program. See you soon. Bye-bye.